What's up, everyone? Welcome to Level 7. It is time for an impromptu episode of the Agents of Fandom podcast. We've had this idea planned for weeks, and yet somehow still managed to have it be last minute, chaotic, last second prepared because I forgot I was traveling this week. Damon had a busy schedule last week, but alas, we have got together to get this done. I'm your host, TJ Zwarych. Joining me is Damon Gray. Not my co-host as always, but still my good friend as always. It's nice to see you, my man.
Co-host as most of the time. Not so much as of recent. It's because I haven't been watching a lot of stuff. My bad. Sorry. There's just not a lot out right now that I've been watching. But yeah, live, laugh, loving life, smiles all around.
Looking forward to seeing a lot more of you here in 2026 because we got a lot of things coming, and a lot of them we are going to be talking about today. It is our 2026 hype rankings / draft, TV shows, movies. We are going to be picking and collaborating to make a list of our very most anticipated projects of 2026. Joining us to help us make said list, we got our friend Richard Nebens of Agents of Fandom and thedirect.com. How you doing, Rich?
Doing great. Happy New Year, you guys. It's been a while since I've been on the pod with you guys. I'm very excited to see where this goes because I have no idea what we're doing really. But this is going to be a fun draft, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this year brings. It's going to be a good time.
This should be fun as well. We got our guy Brandon Moore in the YouTube chat already joining us with us. Oh. Shout out to those hanging out in YouTube, either live or after the fact. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow the Agents of Fandom on YouTube, wherever you get your pods, and on socials at Agents Fandom on TikTok and Twitter, Agents of Fandom everywhere else. Brandon will be back co-hosting with me this Friday, talking about Percy Jackson episode 7. And then we'll be back for the finale as well, breaking down episode 8 with our friends at the Seaweed Brain podcast. Looking forward to chatting about that one. And speaking of, co-hosts who aren't around as often anymore, although Damon is going to be still this year, he hasn't gone anywhere. Lots of co-hosts in chat. We got Brandon, we got AF. Thank you to everyone coming to hang out with us. And I'm not going to say it for sure because it's not locked in yet. But for our Friday Percy Jackson show, there's a chance we may have the return of another former co-host joining us for that podcast to break down the episode as well. So that could be a lot of fun if we can make that come to fruition. We are drafting our 2026 most anticipated projects. Now, before we get into it, I got a couple other things I got to share up. I got to do up like the name randomizer so we can pick our order. And so in the meantime, I want to know what you're watching. Now, Damon, we know you don't watch anything. You don't watch shit. So what have you been reading?
I have been watching something on a delay. I feel like Brandon right now. I've been watching something on a delay, which is Batman the Cave Crusader from Amazon a couple of years ago. Because I think there's a new season that should be coming out this year, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. I've been enjoying it. I think I told TJ, it actually weirdly reminds me of the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man in terms of its approach, where it is like a slight retelling of an origin, but it's willing to kind of do its own thing a lot of the times. So it's fun. I like it. What I've been reading, I've been doing a lot of back reading of some older comics, not so much some newer comics. I've been going through the original new Teen Titans run from Wolfman and Perez, and that is a delight to go through from volume to volume, from year to year. I'm already up to like the late 80s, which is getting there. So there's a lot of Titans books, TJ. There's a lot of them.
Good type of book to have a lot of, because that is one of my favorite DC properties, I think, as well. Richard, how about you? What you been watching?
Actually, I've been doing something kind of fun. I'm going on that Comic-Con cruise I went on last year. I'm going to be going on that again in a few weeks. Unfortunately, it's the last one, but we're gonna have fun anyway. So what I've been doing is this year is a fantasy theme, and there's a couple of Lord of the Rings guys in it. So I did a whole rewatch of the Lord of the Rings movies recently. I watched the original trilogy for probably first time in probably 20 years, like since they came out. And then I watched the Hobbit movies for the first time, which was very fun. I very much enjoyed all three of them. I mean, all six of them really. Did the extended editions too. So they took a good couple of days to go through because some of them are 4 hours long, but incredible movies. And I'm very glad to say I've gotten into them now. Gimli and Legolas are my favorites. And yeah, that's been a great time, and it's really been cool getting into some Lord of the Rings stuff, and I can't wait to get into like Rings of Power and all that stuff later on.
Very, very nice. I haven't been watching much myself just because I have been playing so many video games. Like my life recently has just been straight work, family time, video games. Like it's just been those three things kind of on repeat. We did conclude our Parks and Rec rewatch last night. We finished episode 13 of season 7. God, I love that show so much. It just makes me feel so good. It feels like family. It really, really does. And shout out to Amy Poehler. She had a couple funny bits at the Golden Globes last night as well. But I've been playing Cyberpunk 2077, and it is a ton of fun. I'm so happy I didn't try and play this game when it came out, where it was glitchy as all hell, and they've patched everything. They've added DLC to the story, made it way, way smoother, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. My only complaint is I'm just personally not a first-person view type guy. Like, I like third-person games way better, but the game has been so good that I've been hooked despite that. And so I've been playing a ton of it. It's a lot of fun. Keanu Reeves is like an active main character in the game, and he is, he sounds like himself. He looks like himself. Same with Idris Elba. Idris Elba is in it and is like a very active part of the DLC. And so I've been having a ton of fun with that one. Recommend it to anyone who hasn't dove in before. But it's time for our 2026 most anticipated projects collaborative draft. Now, this is, I got to shout out, I've done this twice before. And so if I mix up the rules, if I screw something up, if we forget a big project that is on your list, it's not on our list, cut us some slack. Okay, it's a busy week. We're weaving this in at the last second because we realized Monday morning that Monday was the only day we'd be able to do this podcast this week. And so cut us some slack. Be nice to us in the YouTube comments. Be nice to us on socials because we're sensitive. We're sensitive souls, and we like it when people
be mean.
Nice.
Be very mean.
Be mean
Tell
to
us
Damon.
Stupid.
You can be as mean as you want to Damon. Don't hold back.
I'm gonna go right in the middle and go, whatever.
Yeah, Rich, mix in one compliment per insult. And for me, just be nice. Just be nice to me. I can't take it. I can't take it if you're going to be mean. But we're going to do a collaborative draft. And so I did one of these once before. I don't remember the actual podcast name who originated this, but I've done this twice. Once on the Movie Draft podcast, once on the Reckless Rebellion podcast. And I know they do this often over on Ethan Simi's The Movie Draft podcast, and he explains directly where they got this idea from. So check that one out. If you like this idea, you want to get more of it, check out Ethan's podcast, The Movie Draft Pod, and then you can go over and they'll give the exact idea. It's like Screen Draft, something like that. They'll give the exact podcast where this idea originated from. But we are going to be ranking our top 10 most anticipated projects of 2026. And so it's not a regular draft where we're each going to have our own list, but it's a draft where we will be making one list together. And so we're going to go through it. One person will have 4 picks, but typically, when you're ranking something that it's like, it is just 10 of these, the person with 4 picks, it's basically 3 because the number 1 pick is just sort of secured because there's only 10 projects. And so they don't actually get to rank anything. It's just the one that's left. Where for us, we're picking from essentially an infinite amount of projects, not infinite, but all the ones that are coming out in 2026. And so we are not limited to said 10. But if this was a different group of people, I think it could get chaotic, and we could argue because we'd have such different tastes, and we'd all want to be making sure we get our things on the list. I'm pretty confident the three of us all have the exact same top
We're all
two.
pretty like-minded.
There
I'm-
may be like a
throughout the
3
list
total that
throughout
like
the list, I'm sure there
yeah.
will be some discrepancy. I have
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest. I've been so scattered this morning. I wasn't feeling well when I woke up, so I went back to bed. And when I woke up after that, it was just too late in the day. I couldn't get everything done that I wanted to get done beforehand. And
I feel that.
so I feel great now, but I needed that extra sleep, and it kind of took out a lot of the productivity out of my day. So I don't even have any list. I have not prepared even a little bit, but I'm pretty confident that we will all have at least the same 2 movies in our top 2.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
with that being the case, the number 2 pick, I think, is a lot more important than the number 1 pick, because the number 2 pick gets to decide what order those 2 movies go in.
Mhm.
And so the person with the first overall, like with the final spot, they're the ones who are going to get 4 draft picks. So that is going to be drafter A. They get picks 10, 7, 4, and 1, because that 1 pick is kind of the least valuable of the group. So drafter A will get 10, 7, 4, and 1. They'll also get 2 vetoes. So drafter A will get 2 vetoes, where if somebody picks something and they think, well, this shouldn't be on the list, or this should be way higher up the list, they can veto it. Drafter B will get picks 8, 5, and 2. Number 2 with, in theory, the most power of the entire draft, and so they will only get 1 veto. 8, 5, and 2 will only get 1 veto. Drafter C gets picks 3, 6, and 9. Probably overall the most valuable ones for just setting the table on where things go, especially because if we all are going to have the same top 2, that number 3 pick is going to be, you essentially get what's the highest one that we might not all be locked in for. You do not get a veto, but you get a veto override. So that means if Richard picks something, I have the veto override. Damon vetoes it. I can override Damon's veto, and that pick would stay exactly where it is. The only asterisk with that one is you are not allowed to veto override your own pick. So if you pick something and somebody vetoes it, you can't veto override your own pick.
Got it.
And so I do have wheel of names popped up here. It's very easy. There are only 3 of us. I will screen share it here for those who are watching us on YouTube.
Great.
And so the 2 of you can tell that I'm not in any way cheating.
Never thought you were, but
before we spin, Damon, I'll throw it to you first. Is there one of these in particular that you want?
Like which spots?
Yeah.
Either the 852 or the 963.
I think I want drafter A, the first one, the one with 4 picks and 2 vetoes, not because I want the 4 picks, but because I want the 2 vetoes. The picks themselves are probably the least valuable of the group, but I just want the ability to veto just in case I need it. But Rich, how about you? Any of these that you're hoping for in particular?
not particularly. I feel like if I had to pick maybe the middle one, the one then was it
The 852?
852, yeah. With the veto. So no, I'm curious to see how this goes. This should be fun.
Before we dive in, Richard, I've been asking this recently since it is fairly early in the year to those who we just did a 2025 top projects draft where we picked our top TV shows, top movies, top wild cards. Do you have a movie, a TV show, and maybe, you know, an event or a musical album? I know you're a big music guy who not just likes music, but studied it. And so maybe is there anything that stood out in the music space in addition to your top TV show and top movie of the year in 2025?
Well, actually, it's funny, music-wise, not an album, but I did get to go to the Backstreet Boys concert at the Sphere in Vegas, and that is probably at least a top 5 concert I've ever been to in my entire life. It was unbelievable. I had the Millennium album when it first came out when I was like 9 or 10, and the concert was just everything I could ask for and then some. In terms of movies, outside of the Marvel stuff, I mean, obviously I love Thunderbolts, love Fantastic Four. I have had K-pop Demon Hunters stuck in my head for about 6 months. I'm not going to lie. And I'm sure that's a popular choice between, our group and everybody else. But I did very much love that movie. Those are probably my top couple of events from last year.
If I don't hear Golden any more times in my life, I think I'll be okay.
I'll admit that's actually not even my favorite song from the movie.
It's a good song.
It's a good song. No, yeah,
heard
absolutely.
it so much over the last 2.5 months.
Yeah.
Particularly in November.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't escape it.
Actually, one quick thing before we go. I got to shout out my brother. He's a video editor and he made a whole 2025 recap. He made this mashup of the Backstreet Boys, Get Another Boyfriend, and a lot of the K-pop Demon Hunter stuff with mostly Idol. And it actually sounds kind of badass. He only did like a minute of it, but it's actually a really cool song.
I love that. Ryan in chat, shout out our guy, Ryan Cortero. He says K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack was one of my top albums last year. It was mine as well, because much like Rich, it was my 1.5-year-old daughter's favorite movie of the year. And so we were diving into that one a lot. And it's kind of a funny progression because I'm genuinely, unironically very excited about this. And it's like one of the first things my daughter wanted to listen to, like before she was even 1. It was one of her first words was Kelly, because she would want to listen to Kelly Clarkson doing covers. And that was just like one of her favorite things to listen to. Kellyoke, they call it on the Kelly Clarkson show. And she has been teasing that she's going to cover Golden on her show. And so we're going to get the mashup of our two worlds that we're always listening to at home, with Kelly Clarkson and K-pop Demon Hunters coming together.
Kelly Clarkson could sing anything and make it sound great. She is one of my favorite voices of all time.
Yeah, she is absolutely incredible. Top TV show of the year, Rich.
Oh, top TV show. That is a good question. You know what? I'm gonna have to think about that. I might maybe come back to me later on that. I'm gonna do some thinking. But I mean, there was a lot of good TV that came out last year. I mean, yeah, that's good. That's a tough one to nail down.
All right, well, it's time to spin the wheel of names. Whoever gets picked first will get to pick if they want to be drafter A, B, and C, and second, and then whoever was not picked, of course, will be screwed, and they will be left with what's ever left. Let's spin the wheel and see what we get. Wheel is spinning.
All right.
We all have our preferences.
Looking good for you, Damon.
Damon Gray gets the first choice. Okay. Damon, are you going with drafter A, B, or C?
I'm going to go with draft order C, the 963.
963 for Damon. You get the veto override. You'll be picking our 9th spot, our 6th spot, and our 3rd spot. Rich, 2 spots left, drafter A and B. Here we go. We're spinning the wheel of names.
All right.
And I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
You know, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with what I get.
I think Rich is actually going to get the best spot here, because I think Damon and I are going to select the 2 least valuable spots. And I think the best order is probably BCA. Okay. And I'm going to take A. And so I'm going to leave Rich, who I'm very thankful for popping up at a very late notice to do this with us. You get the best spot, Rich. You get drafter B. I get drafter A. The tough part about this is that means the guy with no research who didn't think of this at all has to go first. And so because I haven't, I have a lot of projects that I know I'm very excited for, but I haven't actually listed them out in what order. And so I'm kind of scared I'm going to throw something out here that should either be way higher or wouldn't even be in my personal top 10. Mm-hmm. And so I think I'm going to go somewhat safe.
That works.
Pick something that I am excited about, but I'm not super excited about, because it's a franchise that I love. The specific movie. I think Damon thinks I'm going with something, but I'm actually not going with that. I'm going with something else. Okay. It's a franchise that I love, but the specific movie they're going with doesn't necessarily interest me as much as some of the things they have going on in the future. We have seen one trailer for this project, and it didn't blow anybody out of the water. It's ones I think a lot of people are scared of will underperform in the box office. I actually think it will overperform in the box office based on expectations, because the things that have really been popping in the box office lately are kids' movies. And while this isn't a straight up kids' movie, there is a character in it that kids absolutely love. And so with the 10th spot in our most anticipated projects of 2026, I'm going to go with The Mandalorian and Grogu.
A 10.
You know, this is have that higher?
Star Wars movie, TJ, in theaters since
Rise of
Skywalker.
Yeah, but it's basically just gonna be
Mando season 4.
Yeah, which I mean, I know they've said, Jon Favreau has said, like, no, I'm still writing Mando season 4. Like, this is not a substitution for that. This is just a movie in between. But if this was a 2027 draft, I think Star Wars Starfighter would be right near the top of my list. If this,
I agree with that.
If the next trailer comes out and we realize this is the Heir to the Empire movie, and that's what this actually is, and Ahsoka's going to be in it, and Thrawn's going to be in it, and the Rebels are going to be in it, that would skyrocket my excitement. I think that might bring the general public's down a little bit, but that would skyrocket my excitement for this. As it stands right now, I got the Mandalorian. I'm going to put the Mandalorian and Grogu at 10. Are there Damon? I think is based on that. It sounds like you'd have that higher on your list.
Like not drastically higher, but 10 is like
10 feels low.
It's low.
If we had already had a second trailer for this or knew anything about the plot, I think I would probably be higher on my list.
That's fair. Yeah.
Rich, did you have this on yours, and would you have it higher or lower?
It was definitely an option. I'm kind of with Damon. I feel like it might be a little bit higher, maybe like, I don't know, middle of the pack, like somewhere between 5 and 10. But it's not like I'm glad it's on the list at least. So that I feel like that's okay to me.
All right, we have Mandalorian and Grogu off the board with number 10. Let's go to the next spot in the draft, which is Damon at pick number 9. What do you got?
I think I'm going to go with the thing that I thought you were going to go with. Maybe. We'll see. Because it's a franchise that we both terribly love very much. This is officially its first project in a long time from a movie / TV show aspect from these particular creators. And that is the Legend of Aang movie. And the reason I'm putting it at 9 and not higher is because of it no longer being in theaters. For reasons. That's killing me on this. That's why I'm putting it at 9. I'm still very excited. I'm also putting it at 9 because who knows if this thing is even coming out this year. Like, we haven't even had an official look at this thing. The closest we've gotten to it was a photo that was on Getty Images for like an hour before it was requested to be taken down. And that's like an official photography source. And we still don't have like a trailer or anything. So that's why it's low on here, but it's still on here because I think TJ agrees with me. Like, we're both very excited for it. It being strictly on streaming sucks, especially because the creators, the director have all said like they put so much work into it because they knew and were planning that this was going to be in theaters. So that's really sucks. But I'm still very excited for it. I'm more excited for that than I am of the Netflix season 2. Although I am still looking forward to Netflix season 2. And I think TJ and I can TJ will agree with me on this, because season 1 of Avatar, everyone forgets, is really slow and not a lot happens. But season 2, the show picks up and really gets good. So I am excited for that, but I am more anticipating the movie, the official Avatar Studios project, the very first official one.
I'm very excited for this movie as well. I was thinking of putting it at 10, and I don't know why I didn't think Mandalorian and Grogu might not have been on your list. Of course it was going to be on your list, but I didn't pick this at 10 because I knew you were probably picking this at 9. That's literally why I just decided to wait, because I agree with you 100%. It would be higher on my list if it weren't for the theatrical pull and just sending this straight to streaming. If we could go see this in the theater, and I'd be so excited. I would want to fly to where you are, or convince you to fly to where I am, so that we could go see this movie together. And so the streaming side of it is pretty sad. I would love if we could somehow see Avatar Studios get outside of the Paramount umbrella and have somebody else buy Avatar
That's
Studios.
impossible. It's all Nickelodeon. So
yeah, I know. Someone got to buy all of Nickelodeon then. I that would be great, but not going to be happening anytime soon. And yeah, it's tough, but I am still excited for this one. Rich, I can't remember. Are you an Avatar guy?
I haven't gotten into Avatar yet, but I'm good with this list. I know it's a crazy popular franchise. I feel like I want to get into it at some point. It definitely looks really cool. Looks really interesting. Excited to see where it goes. I mean, yeah, it sucks that it's not going to be in theaters, but hopefully it'll do well on streaming and maybe make them rethink it.
Our guy TCR in chat, shout out. This was I brought up. I had done a movie collab draft before, and one of them, or this wasn't for movies, but it was for best quotes or lines in the Star Wars universe, and we did that in the Reckless Rebellion podcast. That was the last collaborative draft that I did, and I have not been invited back on the Reckless Rebellion podcast since, because I pissed Klein right off. I pissed Klein off, and I haven't been invited back since. So Thomas, I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to step in, buddy. I'm gonna need you to step in and pull rank and get me back over there. But we would love to have you back on here as well sometime soon. We're just usually recording while you are at work, unfortunately. But let's go to the next spot in this draft. At 10, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu. At 9, we have the Legend of Aang. Rich, 8th spot. What do you got?
All right. I've been debating between if I want to go movies or streaming. I feel like we should probably get at least one streaming on this list. And I've been debating between a couple of DC projects. Because we've got a really good and exciting slate of DC projects coming out next year and the year after. But I think I'm going to go with one which, like a couple of your others, really doesn't have a ton of marketing at all. It's only got a few seconds of footage out. And I am going to go with the next DC show on the docket. I'm going to go Lanterns. I am very excited to get some more Green Lantern content into the DC universe. We haven't had anything really since the Ryan Reynolds movie, which, I mean, we don't need to go into that. I'm excited to get, Jon Stewart on the small screen for the first time in live action. Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler, I think, are going to be great together. I'm really excited to just learn more about what this series is about. Like, all we know is that it's like they're going to be investigating some kind of mystery on Earth, which, I mean, should be super cool. It should be a good way to get the Lantern started. But the Green Lantern is just such a cool character to me in the DC universe, and I'm very excited to see James Gunn's take on it and this crew behind it. I feel like this is a good spot for it, like you guys said, just since we don't have much on it. But I'm gonna go Lanterns at 8.
Great choice. I wanted this to be on the list, but I was kind of uncomfortable with it getting any higher than any higher up the list, just because there's so many movies that I really want up high on the list that in this one. I'm realizing I actually wanted Damon's spot more than my own spot, because there's a specific movie that I want to have
on the list.
Okay. And so
we will see.
Damn. I don't know how I'm going to do
I took this spot, because 2 and 1 are essentially kind of a lock.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
I actually have freedom with all 3 picks.
Yeah.
Smart. Okay. Okay.
I mean, you have freedom too. You have 3 picks for freedom. It's just you used up your 10 already, essentially.
I'm wondering if maybe I'll just save my 2 vetoes for that spot and really see if I can just
I feel like you
go
won't be
do
able
into
to get
picking
away
what I
with
want.
it. Maybe, but it depends.
All right.
With the number 7 spot, this would not have probably even been on my list if it wasn't for so many of our fellow Agents of Fandom, because I know so many people are just thrilled for this movie to come out in 2026. It had a trailer that looked pretty cool. It's based on a book that people love, because this is one that was in the Agents of Fandom book club when that was a thing for a little bit, and everybody read it together. Everybody loved it, and it's got Ryan Gosling at the starring role. So I'm going with the number 7 spot, Project Hail Mary, a book that I haven't read, but a movie that I'm very excited about because so many people in my life have told me that this is such an incredible story, and this is nearing the very top of their list. And so I'm going with Project Hail Mary at the number 7 spot. Damon, I saw you kind of shaking your head either in I was going to take this higher, or in
No, I think that's a
what were
good
your
spot
thoughts?
for it. I think that's a good spot. For me, it would be a bit lower, weirdly enough, because of the trailers showing too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where it's like the big twist of it is revealed essentially in the very first trailer. And you're like, oh, okay. So now they're kind of leaning into it, and we're getting into that point with these trailers where when the third trailer comes out, you just saw the entire movie.
Okay.
Which sucks. So that's why it's dropped a bit for me. But I think it's still going to be liked. I don't know how it's going to do in the box office. And that goes back to a conversation TJ and I have been having, and maybe we can have at the end of this, where this movie slate specifically is so loaded that we start debating on like, will the total, like how many billion-dollar movies will we have this year?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the number? Maybe we can have that discussion later. But I start to fear that a lot of these movies are really going to be eating into each other just because of the number of movies people go to in a year.
Right.
And I fear for this one, this is going to be a modern classic example of didn't do great at the theaters, but is going to have huge success on streaming.
That's a really good point. I could see this one just because of how many great like box office movies there are this year. It falling in the wayside a little bit from money making numbers, but I agree with you. It'll be one of those that just absolutely crushes on streaming. Rich, how about you? I believe you got the or what are your thoughts on Project Hail Mary?
Definitely looks like an interesting movie. I have not read the book, but I've seen most of the trailers. It looks like a really cool concept. Like Ryan Gosling looks like he's having a lot of fun in this role. And I just looked it up. Yeah, it comes out at the end of March. So I know there are a couple of big like blockbuster type movies that come out right after that. I mean, I know Mandalorian and Grogu was a couple months after that. I will be very curious to see how this does from a box office and streaming perspective, because it looks like a really cool concept and a really fun movie, an interesting movie. I'm definitely curious to see what happens, and I'm gonna have fun watching this one. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go see it.
Damon, the 6th spot is up to you next. I am very curious if I know one thing is going to hit your list, and I'm very curious if you're going to put it in the 6th spot or the 3 spot.
It's not going to be in the 6th spot. It's probably going to be in the 3 spot. And this is the one that I'm digging my feet in the ground for. And I know it's going to be hard for you to veto it personally, but I think you're still going to try just out of spite. But I know deep down inside you are really excited for this, because at the end of this show, you said, I am so much more excited for season 2 than anything from the show gave me. and that's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I was wondering if this was going to end up on the list.
I am very excited for this one as well. I am going to use a veto though. I don't think I can get it in 2026 with how many other things I have above it. Specifically, if I wanted, I don't have any other TV shows above this spot in our list. I'm on movies from here on out.
Mhm.
But also I would have X-Men 97 above it and Daredevil season 2 above it. And so with that being the case, I can't get it in this spot. I'm going with one of my
But
vetoes.
Daredevil is in friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
No, can't
You
do it.
get we're probably gonna get Wave finally. We're getting more Nico Minoru. It's the project that we both agreed was underrated at the time. We thought it was really good. It was like a really good Spider-Man project. Although, if I only had to have one Spider-Man project on this list, it's not
It's not
that
going to
one.
be that one.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, at least to sway your opinion on which one, X-Men 97 season 2 or Daredevil season 2, me personally, I'd pick Daredevil season 2. Just because
Fair.
Jessica Jones season 1, specific, like that direct season, is my favorite season of Netflix television for Marvel.
Is that what you're going with instead?
Yes.
Daredevil.
Rich, what are your thoughts on that one?
I get the reasoning. Yeah, like I am so pumped to get Jessica Jones back in Daredevil. And I will say, I have been excited for Daredevil's Born Again season 2 ever since they did the whole behind the scenes rework thing. Because like even as jumbled and wild and kind of all over the place as season 1 was, it had its really good moments. And now that everything is like settled, in stone, and that it's officially like continuing everything for the Netflix shows, I think Born Again season 2 is going to be one of the best like continuations of this story that we've gotten. I think I'm okay with Daredevil being here. And as much as I love your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man too, I think it's wildly underrated, but I think Daredevil is going to move more needles, unfortunately.
I'm okay with it. Well, let's hold it. I got a lot of movies I feel like I'm interested in popping in at these higher places, but it's a good, I don't want to double veto Damon twice in a row. And also I agree with this. Like it would be between probably Daredevil Born Again or Ahsoka for the last TV show I would want to put in here.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about it, I probably should have, like, I think I probably actually have personally Ahsoka over Mandalorian and Grogu 2. I see Brandon in chat saying the same thing. Ahsoka season 2 is easily my most anticipated Star Wars project at the moment. I think it's mine as well. I think that is mine as well also. So we're going to leave it. Daredevil Born Again slots in at the 6th spot. Number 5, Richard, you are up.
All right. I think I do have all movies going out here. This is a tough one. I think I've narrowed it down. This movie we haven't been waiting for a crazy long time, but it has been a while since we've gotten anything from this one. We've gotten a couple of trailers. It's animated. It made a buttload of money, in 2023. I'm very excited to see how this universe expands into new stories. And of course, my boy Jack Black is in it. I am going with Super Mario Galaxy. As much as I wish I could put Jumanji 3 on this list too, because I do love Jumanji. That'd probably be like in the 10 to 15 range. But I'm going with the Super Mario Galaxy, the sequel to the Super Mario Brothers movie. Getting Yoshi and getting, this fantastic cast of actors back. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I love the illumination animation that they use for this movie. I think I am good with Mario at 5.
So this wasn't on my list at all.
Okay.
I feel like I know for sure what Damon's putting at 3. and I can get behind it. And so I don't want to waste my vetoes, and this
I'm
wasn't
going to
on my
veto
list.
this.
You were going to veto it?
Damon,
right.
you don't have a veto. You only have the override.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I can't veto it then.
Okay.
I'm going to veto it, though.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm
Okay.
gonna do it.
All right.
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
No problems with it. I can't have... I feel like I can't have it over Daredevil, over Star Wars, over Lanterns, things like that. Like, that's just...
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Gonna go with the veto.
All right. Then in that case, that does...
Richard might pick what I think Damon's going to pick at 3 here, and then that would
screw me up.
Cause some chaos.
You know what? I feel like this might be a little low, but you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go The Odyssey.
Oh, okay.
I am gonna go Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey because I feel like that also that adds like some variety to our list rather than just like comic book movies and that kind of thing. But I feel like this movie is it's gonna be really interesting because it comes out with another movie in that same month that's I think both are gonna be like box office juggernauts. I mean, the cast in this movie is insane. It's got Tom Holland, Zendaya, John Bernthal. I mean, everybody and their mother is basically in it. Anne Hathaway. I feel like this adds a little bit of prestige to the list too. I mean, it's a Nolan project, and we know Nolan's, good for one of those movies every couple of years. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see it. It wouldn't be like way high up on my list of movies that I naturally go see, but the movie critic in me feels like The Odyssey should be on this list.
So that's the one I wanted to put in at number 3. And then realizing I didn't have the 3 pick, I wanted to put it at 4.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of worried because I actually don't know what to pick anymore. This is why I was worried about vetoing the Mario one, is because I kind of realized, well, I know what I wanted to pick. I know what Damon wants to pick next. I don't know what Rich would pick. And now I'm pickless. And this throws a wrench into things. I'm so excited for the Odyssey. It is kind of crazy to think about, especially if these two happen to slip into Doomsday, the year that Tom Holland and Zendaya are going to have at the box office.
Oh yeah.
In 2020, in 2026. I am so excited for this movie. Like you said, the cast is incredible. I've gone like trying to watch as many very critically acclaimed, award-winning, highly touted movies as possible in 2025. And I've taken a little break recently, but I'll get back on that in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
My 2 favorites of the year that I hadn't seen yet, like they weren't of 2025, they were just movies I watched in 2025 that I hadn't seen yet, were Interstellar and The Prestige. 2 Nolan movies. I think Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. I am very, very excited for this movie. Damon, you do not get out to the theater as often as you used to. Do you think this is going to be one you're prioritizing seeing in theaters?
Which movie is this again?
The Odyssey.
Oh, The Odyssey. I thought you made your pick. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no, The Odyssey. It depends on schedule because of the Avengers aspect of this.
Mm-hmm.
That's priority for me. Like that's priority during that time. So if my schedule works out, it's okay. There's 2 things with this and with this movie, and we go back to like the whole $1 billion conversation. I'm very interested in it, but I also need to hear from people that this is like a must-see movie. If I'm hearing people like, yeah, it's good, then I'll be like, like if I hear from folks who have come out and are like, cinematic movie of the year, that you have to see this, right? Like a Oppenheimer type of level of hype and talk and discussion around this movie, then I'll go see it in theaters. But outside of that, if people are just like, no, it's good, then I'm like, I've seen an Odyssey movie many times in my life.
It can't be just okay.
Exactly.
I honestly don't even think that's a possibility. I'm so confident that it's going to be incredible.
Okay.
I don't know what to do at 4. because I think I'm going to end up doing something with my heart that is going to stick out like an absolute sore thumb on our list. And here's why. I don't care about Dune. I don't. I'm sorry. Dune Messiah, I don't care. The first two movies did not do anything for me. First one I thought was boring as shit. Second one I thought was good. And I enjoyed it, but I just didn't get the hype.
Right.
I'm not going Dune, which I feel like is the
natural choice.
The natural choice here.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm technically lying because I said I wasn't gonna go any more TV shows, and I think that's what I have to do. The other one I would consider would be Disclosure Day, the new Spielberg movie, but I'm more into Nolan than I am to Spielberg, and so I would want that below the Odyssey. I'd probably honestly want it below Project Hail Mary as well.
I think I know your next pick.
This is a collaborative draft, and therefore I think I would like some collaborative help from the two of you.
Okay.
I want to say this. There's a TV show coming out this year, a new season of a TV show that we all collectively love. And I think it actually deserves this spot now that it finally hit me that I think that season's coming out this year.
Okay.
And that's Shrinking.
Yeah, that was in consideration. I almost wasn't going to put it because I've already seen the first half of it, and it feels like that was part of the end of 2025 for me. I can't say where I'm with my thoughts on it at all yet, but so this pick wouldn't be, if we do go that way, I'm not promoting it or discounting it either way. But the three I would like to throw out there would be Shrinking, X-Men 97 season 2, and Ahsoka season 2.
For me, it's Shrinking.
I haven't seen Shrinking, but it's been on my list forever. I've been dying to watch it.
And you love Ted Lasso, and it's same writers.
Exactly.
Is the new season of Ted Lasso coming out this year?
That is not anywhere near my top 10 regardless. So
I would put it up there if it was definitely coming out in 2026, but we've gotten that one little tiny thing, and I can't in good faith do that yet, even as much as I love Ted Lasso. I am good with Shrinking if you guys want to go for it.
My way of talking out of not doing 97 is just because everything that has gone around that show outside of the show has still left me in a really weird taste in my mouth. Like everything that's gone on outside of the actual show, obviously, without getting into it. That if it were on the list, it would be much lower than 4. I don't not possibly put 97 above anything else on this list.
I don't disagree, but that doesn't take away from how much I love the show. It's one of my favorite pieces of Marvel content in the multiverse saga. But yeah, I mean, I am good with that ranking if you guys want to go for it.
If I were you, honestly, if you were going to pick my number 3 at 4, I was going to put Shrinking at 3.
Okay, let's do Shrinking. Shrinking season 2 at the 4 spot. I am totally okay with that because I love this show so much, and it makes me cry almost every episode. The second season, I love the first season, and I think the second season was somehow even better. It was just so it's funny, it's heartfelt, it'll make you cry, it'll make you laugh, and I just adore all of the characters. Every single one of these characters I wish I knew in real life. I wish were my friends. I wish were my therapist, whatever. They're just awesome.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Shrinking season 2 at the 4 spot. Damon, what do you have at the 3 spot?
Oh, you can make my pick for me.
Since you made my pick for me at 4, I will make your pick for you at 3. We are going with the next installment in the DC universe, what? Supergirl.
No, kidding.
I had a feeling you were going there too.
Yeah, no, that is accurate. Look, Supergirl Women of Tomorrow is one of the definitive Supergirl comics period, and it came out not that long ago. It is that good. I do highly recommend for people to read it if they don't care about plot spoilers for the movie. I know Gunn, I know Tom King, and the cast have said that it doesn't follow it one for one, but no comic book movie has ever followed anything one for one, so that's fine. Like, you're adding Lobo into this. Lobo wasn't in the original story. He was actually in like the concepts of the original story, which is fun and neat, and not the first time that's happened to any comic movie. I'm looking at you, Miss Marvel, making her a mutant. But I'm so looking forward to this. I know people are like, oh, it looks like Guardians 4.0. I'm like, okay. Great. Awesome. Yeah. I'm down for that. It's
all 3 Guardians movies were amazing.
Obviously hasn't like been in any of the like actual production of this. So it just works out that way because that's how the comic works. They are literally traveling through space, through like terrible space airports, and having to go from one planet to another looking for an individual. And I really hope that they get Krem right and they do him good, because I do not like his design from the trailers. That is like one of my nitpicks and complaints, is because Krem in the comic is literally just a dude. He's just a guy, but he is awful and terrible and despicable. But if they do his character right, he is the Gore the God Butcher that we did not get in Love and Thunder. If you do it right, if you do the story right, and I trust them to do the story right. Tom King, the original writer of that book, is one of the consultants and kind of like executive producer type of roles into this movie. So that gives me some confidence there. I'm just so looking forward to this look at Supergirl that we have not gotten yet in any movie or TV show. That's not just what if Superman but girl, right? Like, that's not what Kara is, and that's not what they've kind of like changed, but like developed her into be. So I am really looking forward to this. Jan says he's not Gore. I mean, look, I'm saying in terms of like how despicable of a person and of a being that Krem is, like, that's what I'm trying to get at, where it's a similar idea where in the Thor book, Thor and Jane are literally chasing Gore around the galaxy trying to find him and catch him. And in a similar vein, Kara is doing the same thing here with Krem.
Okay.
I am very excited, like Ryan says in chat, to see Jason Momoa finally play Lobo, and I'm very much looking forward to this movie as well. As much as I did really, really, really enjoy the early seasons of the CW shows, Arrow, Oliver Queen is basically Batman. Supergirl is basically Superman. The Flash, basically Superman. Like, the personalities of those characters in that universe, they were making different characters with different names. And I still really like them, but they weren't necessarily accurate adaptations of who those characters are. And so I am looking forward to seeing this with Supergirl. Millie Alcock looks so cool. She looks so awesome. And I am very excited to see Supergirl, sorry. I do feel like her cameo at the end of Superman, I liked the trailer for this, but her cameo at the end of Superman, I think, got me even more excited than the trailer did. Like, she just, that small amount of screen time oozed such an incredible amount of charisma that I was all in.
It sold me on the story that they were doing, right?
Yes.
Like, the second I saw her in that jacket, the second I saw her, like, you know, coming back from Red Sun, and how Clark was, and Kal-El, whatever you want to say, Superman was just like, oh yeah, she goes to Red Sun's to party, and I'm like, yep, we're doing it. Like, we are doing that storyline, and I'm just keep my fingers crossed and everything, that like we're going to do it well, because if it hits emotionally, it may be my favorite superhero comic book movie of the year if you do the beats right.
Yeah, I am very excited for Supergirl. I mean, this is gonna be literally the first Supergirl movie in over 40 years, and I think Millie Alcock.
Oh God, yeah.
yeah. That's how long it's been. No, I think Millie Alcock looks fantastic. I think she's going to do a great job with the role. I'm so excited to see her in something so different than House of the Dragon. And we already, like you said, we got the vibes from it immediately in that end scene from Superman. I remember I watched it recently for the first time with my wife. It was her first time watching it. And the moment when she and Crypto reunited, she's like, that makes so much sense. I'm excited to see their dynamic. Really excited for Jason Momoa as Lobo. Can't wait to see where he goes after this movie, obviously, because it's just going to be a little role here. But yeah, Supergirl's been very much at the top of my hype list for a long time, especially after Superman gave us that first taste of her. I think she's going to be great.
Rich, you got a lot of power with this next pick. Oh, I did want to ask, did you guys actually Carlos brings up a good point in chat. The Flash was a Supergirl movie. The Flash was a very good Supergirl movie.
I don't know what you're
It wasn't
talking
a good
about.
movie. It wasn't a good Flash, but it was a great Supergirl.
That was one of the only good things about that movie.
Damon, have you seen the 80s or whatever it was Supergirl movie?
I have, yes.
Was it Helen Sailor, I think?
I really, really, and Rich, if you have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so then Damon, I really recommend. There's been a podcast like I've been talking to you, and I really want you to watch Troll 2 because I think you will laugh about how bad
I've seen Troll 2, TJ.
You have? Okay, perfect.
I did the oh my god thing.
Right, I forgot. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm so scattered right now. I can't remember what conversations I've had with what people. I remember this now as soon as you said it. I remember it now as soon as you said it, but it was one of those things that was like, that was in my brain. I just didn't connect it with who. So after watching that movie, I listened to the How It's Made podcast, or How Did This Get Made podcast with it. And just because it had Adam Scott as the guest, and I love Adam Scott so much, they do a How Did This Get Made on that Supergirl movie. And the guest is Brie Larson. And so you should check that one out because I haven't seen the movie and I still enjoyed the podcast. And so definitely recommend checking that one out if you have seen it. Rich, you have a lot of power in this next spot. They're top two movies. We all kind of knew what we were going to go with here, but the order, I think, very much depends on the person. Because while I'll say I have confidence in both of these movies, I think one of them has a much higher floor. I am very confident that one of these movies is going to be really, really good. The other one, I think, has a range from anywhere between horrific and the best superhero movie ever made. And so, are you going with floor or are you going with ceiling here? What do you got at number 2?
Ooh, I like that.
That is a great point. Look, these two are basically tied for me in terms of how much I am excited to see them, because it's one of my two favorite superheroes ever created and what could be the biggest movie in sci-fi pop culture history. I'm gonna go Spidey. I'm gonna go Spidey at number 2. And that is no disrespect whatsoever to this movie, because if the one that I think we're going to pick at 1 wasn't coming out, this would easily be my top movie of the year. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think it's going to revitalize the character. I think Destin Daniel Cretton as the director is such an incredible choice, because Shang-Chi continues to be one of the most underrated movies in MCU history, at least in my view. And getting him to do this movie with Tom Holland and with this whole cast of characters, I think was such a great choice. I'm so excited to see the action he brings to this movie. And the more we learn about it, I was really worried that this movie was just going to be all multiverse all the time. And it was just going to be another, as much as No Way Home's one of my two favorite MCU movies, I don't know if we wanted that again so quickly after we got it in 21. But the way they're doing it, I think it is going to be the movie that we're all hoping for. I mean, Scorpion's going to be one of the villains. There's going to be a ton of interesting villains. They got Tombstone in there, which I think is going to be really exciting. The first time we've actually gotten a live action Tombstone. And And I think Tom Holland just owns this role so much. I mean, he's obviously going to have a big month in July between the Odyssey and this, but he is going to get to explore levels to Spider-Man that we have never seen before in a live action movie. And I am just so excited from everything I've been hearing about this movie. I am not worried about it. I think whatsoever. I think it's going to be another $1 billion movie. Probably that's what the last 2 Spider-Man movies have been. I don't know if it's probably not going to reach No Way Home. No Way Home almost did $2 billion, but I mean, Far From Home was a big success, and that's my 3rd favorite movie. I really like it, but I have Homecoming and No Way Home above it. And I'll end my rambling here, just saying that I cannot wait to see what happens in Brand New Day. I think this is going to be one of the best solo MCU movies in a while.
I couldn't agree with you more in the sense that I love Far From Home, but it's behind No Way Home and Homecoming. Like, it's my 3rd favorite MCU Spider-Man movie, but I still think it's a really, really good movie.
Same. I like it a lot. It's just not at those other 2.
Zendaya back. Jacob Batalon back. Interested to see how that's going to go with them not knowing who Peter is. I really hope they don't reverse it in this movie that quickly. I would find it interesting if they did some type of like Zendaya actually, like MJ actually just remembered on her own. Like Peter doesn't change it. Peter doesn't reverse it, but MJ figures it out again. I'd be okay with that type of storyline.
I wouldn't be okay with that.
I would be more okay with that type of storyline than
that would really throw everything about Strange down a well.
Or not she remembers, she figures it out again.
Like she rediscovers that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Still. Something like that. I don't know. But or maybe the power of love is just that strong, Dan. Maybe the power of love is stronger than the power of magic. Okay? He's not even the Sorcerer Supreme.
If there's any relationship that could do that, it's Peter and MJ.
Are you sure it's not MJ and Paul?
Yeah, don't tell that to the writers
in the movie. And if Paul is in this movie, this is going to go down as one of the worst things, most hated things in the history of ever.
There were rumors that Joe Keery was going to be in this movie as Norman or as Harry Osborn. How fun! And then that kind of fizzled away. I don't think there was any truth to it. How funny would it be if Joe Keery was in this movie, but it's as Paul?
Well, the rumor I heard recently,
funny.
The rumor I heard recently was
or
that,
like funny in a cosmic way.
Right. the one I heard recently was Amon Esfandi from Ahsoka was possibly going to be Paul, but I don't know how true that is, but that would be
Amon. I love Amon so much. I've met him in person. He was so kind. We talked Star Wars and about life for like 30 minutes. He was awesome. If he's Paul, Paul's my new favorite character in the MCU. 1, because it's Amon. 2, because it'll piss Damon off so much.
I'd hate
the cast
so much
for this movie.
If Paul was in this, I'll just say this: if fucking Paul makes his MCU debut before Black Cat, what the fuck are we doing? And that's it. That's all I'll say on that.
Okay.
Good point. Speaking of Black Cat, I don't think that's who she is, but the rumor mill is crazy as to who Sadie Sink will be playing.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big strong cast. She is the biggest name that has gotten added to it. Stranger Things has become such a worldwide phenomenon, and I think she kind of is the consensus of that young group of actors that everybody goes, oh shit, she's special.
Mm-hmm.
She is special. She has talent. So 1, not just getting a big name, but 2, getting her ability into the MCU, into this movie, I think really raises its ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
1 guess, let's not go through it in depth. Who is Sadie Sink playing in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Guesses. Damon, go.
Rachel Summers.
Rachel Summers, the daughter of Jean and Scott Summers. We already have confirmation that she will be in Secret Wars as well.
There's your connection to the X-Foxmen, folks. It's all connected.
Do you think she will actually be like Cyclops, like
yes.
Marsden and Famke Janssen's
so
daughter?
Much sense. Makes so much sense. You can get Cable back, and then you can have Deadpool show up and make a really funny Thanos Cable joke.
What if that was Oh, and she pops into our universe because she's running away from Doom.
And incursion, that's how the incursion happens. If we bring that idea back in, it just makes so much sense.
Yeah, I can see it.
Or because I know the MCU loves to do this, we can mix the idea of Rachel and Hope Summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done that before.
A Summers kid that's not capable.
We only need one.
Yeah.
Because there are, like, from all the different timelines and stuff like that, aren't there like a dozen like variations of Summers kids?
Dude, the Summers family tree is vile. Like, you need like Targaryen level like stuff going on there. It's no thank you.
I like the call. I think my first guess is just on a similar vein, and this has been one of the more popular guesses, is Mayday Parker. Basically the same thought process, but it's not Scott and Jean's kid. It is Tobey Maguire's MJ, Kirsten Dunst's MJ, their daughter grown up as Mayday Parker, as a Spider-Girl, a Spider-Woman of some kind. I think I probably would actually like Rachel/Hope Summers a little bit better, though. Richard, how about you? What's your guess?
I was leaning Mayday too, but I do love the Summers idea. That would be a really cool way to like tie it in, like multiverse wise and everything. But I've definitely been on the like, of all the characters she's not going to be Jean Grey. I can tell you that much already. I would be shocked if she's Jean Grey, but I could see the Mayday thing coming, actually happening. That I think that would be pretty cool. Be a good way to introduce Mayday into the MCU. But yeah, I mean, partially I've given up. I don't care who she's playing. I just want to find out from the official source, not from like 20 different inside sources on Twitter telling us who she's going to be. And it's all somebody different. But no, getting Sadie Sink into the MCU is a huge get, especially in a Spider-Man movie.
Sadie Sink has said that she has seen the correct guess, the correct prediction online. She has seen that. Now, to be fair, we have just listed off 7 different characters she could be playing.
And there's 17 Gwen, which arguably could be the most likely.
Yeah. And there's 17 more that have been thrown out.
I would be very, very confident that it's not Gwen Stacy.
Because, yeah, you think they're going to save Gwen to be the same age as Miles whenever they introduce it.
Absolutely. And it's also the reports have come out. Again, these are all just reports and talking and stuff, that Sony is now starting to get, after this is filled, starting to get more likely, more okay and forgiving about using
more collaborative.
Collaborative. Thank you. About using major Spider-Man characters, and Gwen Stacy is a very major Spider-Man character outside of the Miles Morales stuff. Her on her own is a very major Spider-Man character. So I do not think that she would be. Actually, Paula.
The only thing I'll throw in there is Gwen Stacy has been exclusively played by redheads so far in Spider-Man movies, and so maybe they are just keeping that going. Who do you think will play? Who do you think Sadie Sink will be playing? Let us know in the comments. Let us know on socials at Agents Fandom on TikTok and Twitter. Agents of Fandom everywhere else. Outside of Sadie, this cast is just insane. Mark Ruffalo will be back as Bruce Banner. John Bernthal is going to be back as Frank Castle. Tramell Tillman, who has been crushing it in Severance, he's back, and we have no idea who he's playing. Marvin Jones III is Tombstone. Like, that man is Tombstone, and he's playing Tombstone. It's perfect. He plays Tombstone in the Spider-Man Insomniac games. He is perfect for that role.
And Into the Spider-Verse in those movies.
And Into the Spider-Verse. Liza Colon-Zayas, who is from The Bear. It's Michael Mando is back as Scorpion. We have no idea who the main villain is going to be in this movie. That is one of the things that gets me so excited. Is I love not knowing. I love being surprised, and we know absolutely nothing about this movie so far, other than the cast and the director.
And that one, and I do think the best promotion they have done, because they still haven't released a trailer for this, is shooting in public on location.
Yes.
And I think it was in Scotland, and how cool that was to see how like practical environment, and then Tom Holland going up to little kids in Spider-Man costume, like that. Like, the best promotion that movie could have done was that.
Agreed.
Oh, and we're also getting the best live action Spider-Man suit ever. I'm gonna call it right now.
I like it. Number 1 spot. I'm going with Ahsoka season 2. Avengers Doomsday in the final spot. This is one I was referring to where I genuinely think this has the widest range of outcomes of maybe any superhero movie we've ever seen. This could be the best comic book movie we have ever seen. This could be the worst comic book movie they have ever seen. It is very clear that the thought process behind this movie was, shit, our new ideas aren't making as much money as we hoped they would. Let us do the thing that we think will make the most money. Let's capitalize on nostalgia. Let's bring back, now that we have access to them, all the Fox X-Men that, despite the movies not being great, no superhero movies were that great at the time. And so people fell in love with a lot of these characters. Let's bring everyone together in the prelude to the most famous Marvel comic in the history of Marvel Comics. Let's bring in the number 1 event comic in the history of Marvel Comics. Let's bring in the number 1 most notable villain in the history of the Marvel Universe. And let's cast him with the most popular actor in the history of the Marvel Universe. This could be awful. This could be great. The Russo brothers have never made... I think there's things like The Gray Man that are pretty good, that I enjoyed it. But the Russo brothers have truly never made a very good to great, even non-comic book movie. Since they left the MCU, they have not been able to put, they put some fine movies together, haven't been able to put out a really great one. They have made arguably the 4 greatest Marvel movies of all time. Not the top 4 on my list, but Captain America, Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. They made arguably the 4 best Marvel movies of all time. It could go either way, but I'm going Avengers Doomsday, of course, as our number 1 most anticipated movie of 2026. I do find this idea that we have seen from the trailer so far, that we saw at the end of Fantastic Four, with Doom going to see Franklin Richards, with us seeing Steve Rogers and him rocking his little baby, with Thor monologuing like the Shakespearean Thor of old, that he wants to protect his daughter at all costs. The theme is Doom's gonna be stealing them babies. Now, I don't know how Thor's daughter, who is woven with the power of eternity, and Franklin Richards, probably the most powerful character in the Marvel multiverse. I don't know how little baby Steve and Peggy are they looking for just somebody who can lead that group to give motivational speeches? I'm not sure, but I do think it's very interesting, the idea that Doom could be putting together his own little team of young Avengers and recruiting the strongest ones of the multiverse. Maybe he's stealing the babies as leverage to make the older heroes do what he wants. I don't know, but it does kind of seem like that's the theme. I will say, it makes me worried fucking sick for little baby T'Challa at the end of Wakanda Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like that is one of the most likely things we see in this movie, is that baby aged up, and we actually see Doom go and take in that baby, and then we get our new Black Panther that way. Maybe he starts out on Doom's team, and then Black Panther is the first one to kind of turn and get back on our hero side, and then becomes the MCU Black Panther. I don't know.
Can I give an actual theme plot here? Because I do want to break, Carlos mentioned, unless this film is 3 hours long, how are you going to make a
It's going to be 3.5. It's going to be 3.5. It'll be the
I don't care how long this movie is. But an actual, other than Boom Boom Clash Clash, which is what Shooter's Secret Wars literally is. The plot of that original Secret Wars is to sell toys. There is no plot. Boom Boom Clash Clash. Take all your toys in the sandbox and smash them against each other. I think an interesting theme for this, from the teasers we've been getting, is if Doom is truly going around and taking these little kids and going full Slade Wilson over here, go full Deathstroke. Don't ever go full Deathstroke. I think the idea of corrupting youth, like seeing your kids like kind of be like corrupted by an evil who they think is good. Like that's kind of like the whole thing about Doom is like Doom is right. Doom is always right. He may be
Thanos.
wrong in his ways, but he's right about what needs to be done. So like corrupting the youth, seeing them turn against their parents, I could absolutely see like Ant-Man getting like the Ant-Man treatment and dying in this movie, right? And then eventually maybe realizing like their ways are wrong. Or that's when I really hope, and I brought this up to TJ, and it goes all the way back to our original idea of Secret Wars, is you have the true young, tested young Avengers that we've been following. Not like your Love, not Baby T'Challa, but your Kate, your Miss Marvels,
Cassie,
Thatcher, and America, right? And Wiccan, you can throw him in there too. And Speed.
Yeah, and Speed will be
they
introduced
go
by
in
that
and
time
like
also.
you have like those heroes who still represent what the Avengers really are, and they have a children's crusade to go find Wanda as the only other person who could take down Doom. Right? When we go into an actual theme of this rather than boom boom clash clash, I think the theme of like corrupting youth, corrupting younger people into thinking a certain way, into leaning with the side of evil that they didn't realize it, is like like an actual story to tell. And maybe like TJ, do you agree with that?
Love everything you said. Like, I hope this is exactly what the movie is. And just like one other little piece that I'll weave in is another thing we agreed on. Strange is going to be on Doom's side. Doctor Strange will be on Doom's side. And then I think in Secret Wars, we'll kind of get the reverse of Multiverse of Madness, where Wanda was the villain and Strange was the hero. I think Wanda will ultimately be the one who either reboots / saves. Could be Franklin too. But I think Wanda will be the one who ultimately reboots / saves the multiverse, the Marvel universe, whatever it is, after the Children's Crusade finds her. And I think Strange will be on the opposing side with Doom.
Could you have her do her whole like no comma more mutants thing after like with the help of Miss Marvel, who is now a mutant? Maybe they meet some of the new X-Men team, the younger X-Men team, Sadie Sink's character possibly going forward, right? Yeah, we have one world under Doom. Hopefully this doesn't last 9 months. But shout at the comics, where it's like she's the one who brings in, like, we do get like that MCU reboot reset that we've been talking about. My grand, crazy, insane idea is we actually pick up at the end of Secret Wars. I know we're still going so far ahead. We pick up at the end of Secret Wars with Old Man Steve giving Sam the shields, like that exact moment. But things are just like a little changed. So Sam's like, "Oh, you want to tell me about it?" And he's like, "Nope, not really." And it puts a whole new meaning to that. It puts a whole new meaning to Doom or Iron Man smacking the helmet at the end of the movie, if that's actually Doom smacking his helmet at the end. There's a lot of things, and people are like, "Oh, the retconning thing." Guys, the entire MCU's been retconned. Ever since the first Avengers movie. You think that they actually made Loki's scepter like the Mind Stone when they made Thor? BS, right? Like no. So a good thing that the MCU and comics can do is when you retcon something, it makes sense and it tells a good story. I think they can do that here. Just circling back though to Doomsday.
You know what's so funny, Damon? You brought that idea to me in text form. And I will say your explanations on video are so much better than in text. Because I had no idea what the hell you were
that makes no sense.
The first time you were like, "Oh, and I think Secret Wars ends with like this with Steve," and I was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. How is that relevant to this conversation?" And I'm not inside your mind. I don't know what you're talking about. That breakdown made so much sense to me, and I loved it.
Now you know what's not going to happen. Because I said it, and that always happens. I've only been right once on this podcast, and that's to be just Agatha dying. That's
Agatha turning into a ghost. Will Ghost Agatha be in Avengers Doomsday and or Secret Wars?
Maybe. It depends if we get our Children's Crusade arc.
Yeah. If Wiccan's in it, she will be in it.
Yes.
That's kind of how I feel.
Which
Rich, any other predictions or thoughts about Avengers Doomsday after Damon and I have just gone crazy for the last 20 minutes?
all I'll say is that Julian Hilliard, when I talked to him for Doctor Strange 2, brought up Children's Crusade as a possible thing that he wants to explore, which would be awesome. I hope that happens. Me on a personal level, I just love the fact that my middle name is Franklin right now. Just like out of the blue, my parents gave me a comic book name, which is awesome. This movie, like you said, TJ, it could be a disaster considering a lot of the stuff that we've had in the multiverse saga and a lot of the complaints people have had. But it's also the Russo brothers, and they have directed, like you said, 4 of the best comic book movies in history. Everything I've seen from the trailers has me so insanely excited for what we're getting. I know we can't like actually talk about the trailer that's coming out tomorrow yet, even though like some of us like know what's happening or whatever. But I mean,
this release method's so stupid.
I get it, but it's also kind of stupid. Yeah. But I won't lie. I cried when I saw Professor X and Magneto and the best version of Cyclops ever. Those 3 seconds of James Marsden Cyclops is probably the best live action Cyclops that we've ever gotten in anything. And I can't wait to see what the Russos do with all these characters that we have waited literally decades to see interact with one another. Like you said, Damon, it is the equivalent of throwing all your toys in a sandbox and having a mash around with each other. But it's also something that we never thought was actually possible until now. I mean, this is the first time where Marvel has actually, outside of Spider-Man, gotten all of their possible options for characters to use in a single movie. I mean, we've got the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the Thunderbolts, all in the same movie.
The
and
Inhumans. Oh, wait.
Don't even get me started on them. It's just, God, I wish that was good. But no, like everything that we've seen from the trailer so far has been so insane from the footage that we've gotten. We've only gotten like 3 minutes of footage in what I hope is a 3-hour movie. This thing could be Endgame levels of like popular and a hit. I very much hope that's what it turns out to be. But we're gonna spend the next year talking about it. And like I do love that they rolled out the promotional tour so early for this one. Because I mean, like you guys said, this is one of only 2 Marvel movies coming out next year, and it's easily the biggest thing that we have had since Infinity War and Endgame. This is going to be the movie event of the century, and we thought we already had that with the last 2 Avengers movies, and Marvel continues to do it again. Can't wait to see a full trailer, hopefully probably by the Super Bowl or so, and definitely this summer we're going to be getting a lot more.
Are we going to get a full trailer for Doomsday or Spider-Man first?
Spider-Man.
I hope so.
I feel like probably Spider-Man, because that comes out, what, 4 or 5 months before? We got to get something for Spider-Man soon. I'm excited
6 months
to see
before. We've got literally nothing for that movie either.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Yeah. Outside of that first day of shooting, nothing.
Which is smart, because Spider-Man doesn't need it. Focus on Avengers right now, but I do still think the first
That
big trailer will be that like Super Bowl Spider-Man trailer.
I can totally see them doing that. Yeah. It's going to be big for Marvel either way at the Super Bowl, whether it's Doomsday or whether it's Spider-Man. But Doomsday is going to be an event like none of us have ever seen before, and I'm all here for it.
It will be the event. Will it be as good of a movie as Infinity War and Doomsday and Endgame? Because it can't just be good. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think if this movie is a 7.5 out of 10, that's kind of a failure based on everything that they've thrown away to make it happen.
I don't think it can be. I think it is like sports analysis wise. This is a Willie Mo Pena swing. This is a home run or this is a strikeout. Like there is no in between. This is either going to be great or bad.
Right.
I don't think that we are in a world where this is okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, especially with just the way people react to things.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's so binary now for everything.
I want to talk a little bit about box office before we get out of here.
Figured
because Damon, this is a conversation we've been having in text, and I think I've come around a little bit more to your side of things, but I'm still higher on the 2026 box office than you.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I'll say about Rich, you brought it up with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, you're not sure if this will do more than Spider-Man No Way Home probably does a little bit less. I do have a small amount. I mean, fear is not the right word because I don't really give a damn.
Concern.
But I do have a little bit of trepidation about whether Spider-Man Brand New Day will be actually a $1 billion movie. And that's because it doesn't get any IMAX screens. As of right now, it will not have any IMAX screens. The Odyssey will have all of them. And it releases 2 weeks after the Odyssey, but the Odyssey has locked in a minimum of 4 weeks, maybe up to 8 of IMAX screens after that movie has come out. And so I think that'll affect Spider-Man Brand New Day a little bit. Yeah. And then I do wonder if those two movies appearing right at the same time will eat into each other. Not that they're all that similar. One's a comic book movie, one's, an epic that all the film bros are going to really be going to. But I do think there will be the average person that goes, okay, do we get a babysitter and go to Odyssey tonight, or do we bring our kids and go to Spider-Man Brand New Day? And I wonder if those two could potentially eat into each other a touch, just as Avengers Doomsday and Dune could, because as catchy as a name of Doomsday is, and I think that's a really fun. I think it's a fun name, a fun idea for an event. One, I kind of feel like Dune, even though they've said they aren't going to, I think they're going to move up a little bit because they're not going to want to. Dune is going to need IMAX screens, and they're not going to get it from Doomsday. Like, Doomsday is going to get them over Dune. And so with that being the case, I think Dune is going to move up a little bit to secure those IMAX screens. Could be wrong. That's my guess. If they do release on the same day, I don't think there'll be the Barbenheimer effect of these are two totally different movies. One for him, one for her. It's a date night. Yeah. I don't think Dune and Doomsday will have that effect. And I think even though it's a really catchy name, they're probably going to eat into each other.
Yes.
Now, I do think Doomsday probably crosses $1 billion. I think Spider-Man probably crosses $1 billion.
No, I think here's the thing, TJ, that you say probably. Spider-Man is making $1 billion because you're forgetting one thing. International markets.
Yeah.
And I just looked up the history of like Spider-Man live action movies. There has not been a live action Spider-Man movie that has made less than $700 million. And that was Amazing Spider-Man 2. The lowest
it'll go over $1 billion.
The lowest in the MCU is 878, and that was Homecoming. I'd say the chances of Spider-Man breaking $1 billion are pretty high. And honestly,
I'd say very high. That's just like the one trepidation I have is the Odyssey.
Oh yeah. And honestly
pulling away from it.
I don't know how international audiences are going to do with the Odyssey.
Because man, I was listening to some podcast the other day. People are predicting the Odyssey gets close to $2 billion this year. I don't think it's going to go over $1 billion.
I think there's a small chance, but I would probably.
It has a chance for sure. No. I don't think it does, but I was very interested in a lot of people being like, it's going to be Super Mario Galaxy 1. It's going to be the Odyssey 2 at the box office this year. And I don't think that'll be the case. I think Mario very likely could be 1. Yeah, I don't think the Odyssey is going to grow as high as 2. My question for the two of you is, how many $1 billion movies will there be this year? Because I feel very strongly that this will be probably not crossing it, but the best box office the world has had since 2019, when we had a Star Wars movie and an Avengers movie coming out in the same year, and it was just huge, and people were going to the theaters, and we had a little bit more money than we do now, and the pandemic hadn't happened yet. And the box office was flourishing. This year is going to be stupid for box office. There are just so many blockbusters.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, I need to pick a number. So I'm going to go between either 4 or 5. Because I think we are leaving out with what we saw with Lilo and Stitch this year. You do need as much as people do not like and say online and shout to the live action remakes, gang, they make money.
If Moana's coming out movie, this year, I feel most confident to put my fist down that it reaches $1 billion this year. I guess 1 would probably be Mario, but 2 is Moana.
Yeah. The other 2 would be relying on if they are good and if people are saying you have to see it, and that is the Odyssey and that is Toy Story 5. If both of those are people are like, no, at least with Toy Story 5, you have to see this. Like, is that good? I think so, but I do fear that a lot of Pixar movies have turned into, I'll watch that on streaming.
Yeah.
I'll watch that on streaming.
But
Like,
it is
I
Toy
do fear
Story
with that.
So
Yeah, like there's never been a Toy Story movie ranked below, I think, like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever it is. I kind of feel like these movies are going to be.
yeah.
That's why I think my number 6, I'm going to say Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day,
Mhm.
Toy Story 5, Moana, Super Mario Galaxy,
Mhm.
and a 6th one. Will that be the Odyssey? Will that be Dune Messiah? Will it be Minions? Will it be Shrek? I don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
going to go 6. I'm going to go 6 because I think the 5 that will are Doomsday, Spider-Man, Super Mario Galaxy, Moana, Toy Story 5. To me, it's just what will the 6th be?
Yeah, I'm going 4 because I'm not so certain on Toy Story and Odyssey.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair. Odyssey would be my 6th one. Odyssey would be like the number 6. But like Toy Story
Like,
would
if
essentially
Odyssey,
be
again, if Odyssey, if
it
people
did.
are saying it's good, it's hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it will.
That's
That will
my-
happen though. When has Nolan made a bad movie? Christopher
I have
Nolan
not
probably
seen
is
this
the
much
number
critique.
one.
I have
most
not seen
popular
this much
filmmaker.
online discourse to a Nolan movie before it's come out until this movie. Like people are just like nitpicking it like crazy, and I fear that is going to, not fear, but I am anticipating that is going to lead into not so rave reviews and people wanting to be that, I hate to say film snob, but wanting to be like that
Mhm.
level of critic where in any other year people are like, that's amazing, 10 out of 10, but
Yeah.
I don't know for this year.
Also, is the Odyssey PG-13 or R-rated?
I
Do
don't
we
know.
know
I
yet?
assume it'll be 13 though.
Well, I don't think they've rated it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Because I remember Oppenheimer came like super close to making $1 billion and it was R-rated. So I think it's got a way better shot if it's PG-13, more, obviously get more eyes on it. I think I'm with you, TJ, on that 6 number. I feel like the first 5 are at least 4 of them are guarantees. There's no way Doomsday doesn't hit it. There's no way. I don't think there's most ways Spider-Man doesn't hit it. I think that's going to be a pretty solid bet. Toy Story's the last 2 have both made $1 billion. And what was the last? You said the Odyssey, Moana. Oh yeah,
And Super Mario Galaxy.
and Super Mario Galaxy. Yeah, Super Mario made like what 1.3.
Mario, Moana, Doomsday, Spider-Man, I'd say are for sure the 4 most likely.
Do you think Avengers Doomsday could not hit it if
There's a
it is
chance, I
on
think
the floor end of, oh no, after
Yeah.
it comes out?
See,
Like,
I don't
we thought that was
think
going to be it with Ant-Man, Quantumania, and then it hit, oh no, for the majority of audience.
I don't think this is likely. I think the X-Men of it all combined with an Avengers title, that alone is enough to make it go $1 billion.
Mhm.
Having said that, I do think it is in the range of outcomes. If early reviews are that it is horrible and that it is just a nostalgic slop, I do think it is in the range of outcomes that people go, no, we're done. We
Yeah.
don't care. There have been so many movies this year. Our wallets are tapped. I want to go see Dune, or I want to wait for some Christmas movies. I don't know. I think there are possibilities that it flops. I don't think that'll happen. I think it goes over 1.5 billion. I think there's a chance it flops though.
Just off the top of my head, every Avengers movie so far has topped 1.4, if not 1.5 or 2.
Wasn't Ultron like 800 million or something?
No, I think Ultron was like almost to the first Avenger. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look.
And also, I do think, to answer Ryan's question, it hits $1 billion within the year. It would do it within the first 2 weeks. If it doesn't, it's doing it within the first 2 weeks, or it doesn't.
Yeah. So I just looked. Avengers: Age of Ultron, 1,402,000,000.
Yeah, 1.4 billion. I saw. Yeah, you're absolutely right there.
Yep.
Do you think there's a couple others that have a chance? I think Mando and Grogu has a chance. If that is a very good movie, I do
Now-
actually think that has a chance to be.
It depends what it's up against, because as we talked about, like one of the reasons that I was pushing back on, you originally gave me like a 6.5 number or whatever it was, like over under, and what I always say is people typically go to the theater 3 times a year. And there's so many movies out this year that are going to be so good. We brought this up earlier with Project Hail Mary, that they're just going to eat into each other. It's just naturally going to happen. They might
be forced to go more, though.
The problem is, buddy, like people just don't. It's expensive.
Yeah. So actually, I pulled up an article that my buddy from the Direct, David Thompson, wrote. He's our box office expert, our box office correspondent over there. He had Minions 3 as a potential option. I mean, Minions, that's a franchise that has hit pretty big.
Yeah, I think that has a chance too. I think that has a chance too as well.
Yeah.
I think the new Shrek movie also has a chance.
Possibly.
I think Shrek is probably in that 500 to 7 range. I think Minions is probably in like the 7 to 8. There hasn't been a Minions movie that has yet crossed the billion, has there?
I think there has.
I thought a Despicable Me has, but a Minions hasn't, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mando and Grogu will get close if it's good, because I think people are underestimating the Grogu of it all and just bringing their kids to see Baby Yoda. I think that'll be something that happens. That releases on May 22nd.
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada is 3 weeks before it, and I think that would be the only
2 different audiences. That's fine.
2 different audiences, exactly.
So
then the Odyssey is until July 17th.
So this is pretty crazy.
It has a good. It should be the big spring one.
So Minions 1.15 billion, and Minions: The Rise of Gru 937 million. So they either crossed it or came real close.
Carlos in chat saying there is no fucking way that movie will be good. Let me counter with something. There has been probably like 6 total episodes of The Mandalorian that have been bad. 3 seasons of a show, there have probably been like 6 total.
I was going to say, including Boba Fett.
I mean, sure, because the episodes with The Mandalorian were the best episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. Those ones were actually really good.
Yeah.
And so
that's what, a quarter of the show?
I think we are like, what did the way season 3 end suck? Yes, 100%, absolutely. But Favreau has made one of the best superhero movies of all time. He's made probably the best Christmas movie of all time. He's made a bunch of really good movies, and Mando seasons 2.5 seasons of Mandalorian and Grogu are really good. Mm-hmm. And so I don't have the same. I kind of feel like the recency bias and internet echo chambers have convinced people that Star Wars is in a little bit of worse of a spot than it actually is. Ahsoka 2 is fairly neat. Ahsoka is fairly niche because you have to have seen
Rebels and Clone Wars.
Rebels.
I was gonna say Ahsoka's in essentially like that realm of Star Wars fan, like they're hardcore Star Wars.
Yes,
diehards. Yeah.
I think the Mandalorian Grogu is going to do a lot better than people think it is, because of the
it's also the
factor,
first.
Because it was the launcher of Disney Plus. Like, people love that product, even if critics didn't like how it ended.
And it's the first Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker. Exactly. I think that gap should help it. I don't know if it's gonna like push it over 1 billion, but I think it's got a chance. The only other ones I saw on that list, Jumanji 4, I don't think so. Yeah. Just because it's got Doomsday and Dune probably, competing with it. I think that one's gonna get left in the dust. But I mean, there's some options. There's
going to be a new Hunger Games movie, which probably doesn't get close, but will do a lot of money. Supergirl probably in that $300 to $500 million range. Clayface probably in that $100 to $200 million range.
Because that's a horror movie, and
right.
There's going to be Disclosure Days, the new Spielberg movie. That'll probably be in the $100 to $200 million range. Like, there's going to be a lot of big box office movies this year.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know how many movies you think will cross the $1 billion threshold this year. You can let us know in the comments here on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. You can also let us know on socials at Agents Fandom on TikTok and Twitter, Agents of Fandom everywhere else. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. We will be doing our Percy Jackson breakdowns every Friday. We do have some Percy Jackson related stuff coming. We'll be doing our Wonder Man breakdowns in a couple weeks. We got some Wonder Man extra content coming. Plus Damon AF Fat Thor every Thursday on the Comic Corner as well. Damon, what is coming up this week?
DCKO. Number 3, there has been a big half bracket, half Fortnite style tournament in DC landscape, and who's gonna punch them all type of thing. It's been fine, and a lot of people have been liking it. Also out this week, the Ultimates new issue of that, which is one of the best Ultimate comics, even though that entire universe is going away, but we're enjoying it while it can. And a quick shout out, there is a new Supergirl book that's been on the shelves the last few months. If you want to get into Supergirl before watching the movie, and if you've already read Woman of Tomorrow or don't want to read Woman of Tomorrow, this is a much lighter, nicer, happier, maybe all age, 12 plus age book for Supergirl. It's fun. It's fine. There's a lot of goth nightclubs in there, which is hilarious for a Supergirl book.
Rich, where can the people find you on socials? And you have any work that you would like to plug?
Nothing too crazy. Just at Richard Nebens on all socials. Just writing as much as I possibly can. Got the Comic-Con cruise I'm going on in a couple of weeks. Hopefully have some fun updates on that. Fingers crossed, maybe get an interview or two. I'll hopefully be able to share that when I can. But just looking forward to a great year and hopefully some big things looking up. And we got a lot to look forward to in 2026.
Follow Rich on socials. Follow the Agents Fandom. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a nice 5-star rating and review. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. Active chat today. Ryan, Carlos, Thomas, Jam.
Oh, yeah. Can I very quickly before we go, I just wanted to shout out some people's
AF.
top 10s. Jam had Project Hail Mary, Lanterns, Doomsday, Supergirl, Clayface, Dune, Daredevil, Spidey on Odyssey, which is pretty similar to our list. Okay. TC, Spidey, Lanterns, Odyssey, Doomsday, Shrinking, Disclosure Day, Supergirl, DD Season 2, and he threw in X-Men 97, Project Hail Mary. And Brandon had a very different list in no particular order. Percy Jackson, Shrinking, Odyssey, Superman, or Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Avengers, Doomsday, Supergirl, but also included Wonder Man, Vision Quest as well, which we did not mention in our lists. Wonder Man
Can't wait for
out very soon.
All right, that'll do it. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in to today's episode. We will see you next time. On behalf of myself, Damon, and Rich,